but it was very clearly destroyed. It was set ablaze at some point in the not too distant past, because it has not been totally overtaken by nature yet. Maybe 3 or 4 decades.
Mm-hmm.
And amongst the ruins here, actually, give me 1 second, if you don't mind. We're going to add some randomness into this. I want to see if you get eaten by monsters. Would that be fun?
How many sailors are you going to lose?
Not any important ones, I hope. Are you on the ship right now, Priest?
Yeah. No,
I'm at our village.
Working.
All right, you're with us. What kind of church are we building?
He's being the Suikoden man.
How right is our church?
Our church is pretty cool, man. I think it's like
probably
an
isn't
altar.
very cool. Probably
at
isn't
most.
very cool. Yeah.
Well, we got 1,600 gold pieces in right now, so.
How fishy smelling is our altar? Does it start to rain more once you build it?
Orphan.
Mm-hmm.
What you find is a box in one of the burned out buildings, covered in debris. And you open it, and inside is a silk bag. And inside of the bag is a small stone.
Okay.
And it looks like the shine on it is unbelievable. This stone looks like it glitters even when it's not in light. It looks like there's definitely some kind of charm or enchantment on it. And then when you show this to the men standing nearby, like, you have to make Balin eat his words a little bit. You managed to find treasure here.
Say, Brickroad.
What?
I thought of a way for Khalil to maybe contribute to the slush fund.
Okay.
But I mean, are you done with that overland stuff?
I mean, that's what Orphan found after several excursions onto islands. Most of what you found is just bare desert island.
Yeah.
You managed to stock up on lots of different kinds of exotic fruits, nuts, berries, leaves. I mean, Cube is happy. You're keeping him in all kinds of exotic herbs. But as far as treasure goes, that's what you find.
When we return
the slush fund.
I like the
slush
term
fund
slush
is a really bad thing.
So how is Khalil contributing?
When we once he gets back to once he gets back here to the plot, what he would do is he would offer to hire himself out as a guard for trade going between Caer Tyrell and Dunboss.
Okay. Not a lot of trade on the road because it's so dangerous. But once in a while, you do manage to find a merchant who's looking to make the journey. In fact, that's why Eldove was able to strike that winery deal, because they had transportation. They were able to supply that. It is a 1-month journey between Dunfoss and Caer Tyrell, along with a trade caravan. Let me calculate a price real quick. Given your skill set and your ability to take a leadership position, I would say you could make 4 gold per day hiring yourself out in that way. So for a month, you could make 120 gold making the journey, provided you survive and get everybody there intact.
Okay.
So for every month that you decide to do that, give yourself 120 gold. Eldove, for every month you decide to trade wine back and forth between Dunfoss and Caer Tyrell, you can give yourself the price I quoted you earlier. And Orphan, for every month that you spend privateering, you can make back that gold that I quoted you earlier.
Okay.
So at the end of 6 months, go ahead, everybody do the calculations for 6 months in.
Okay.
Khalil would keep 20 gold out of that for himself for overhead, so he'd be getting 600.
Okay.
Giving 600 for that 6 months to
I just
slush
realized
fund.
this is an extremely boring session to watch in the chat, because
This is the greatest session we've had so far.
Yeah, this is an awesome session. We're building a fucking Suikoden castle.
Yeah.
Are you there, man? Duke?
Zook, yes?
Do you want to spend 150 gold?
On what?
If you give me 150 gold, I will make you a scroll of sending, and then you can use your use magic devices to read it. And at any point, if you need him, Tarin will immediately teleport to where you are. Well, do his 3-turn teleport trick. So it's not instant, but it seems like anyone else who would be able to cast sending, except maybe Fred already has it on their spell list. Like Arik could just cast it, and Eldove can't. But it looks like for you that would actually be pretty good. And I'll put in 75 on it if you want.
It's 150 gold to cast it once.
Yeah, that's the 3rd level scroll.
You know what? How much would... Because let me... no, let's just do one of them for now.
Yeah, I figure, I mean, if you ever...
If I burn it, I'll get another one.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, if you ever...
no, that sounds like a great deal.
You need an emergency, Tarin.
Yeah.
So it'll be 75 to me?
Yep, and I'll do 75 too. And then, yeah, Arik and Fred, if he knows sending, I don't think Fred knows sending. It's probably too
He does
useful.
not.
But
Yeah,
if either of you guys ever need it, just...
Yeah, I know something.
Yeah.
What does Fred know? What kind of useless spell has he been learning?
He knows Liam's tiny hut. He can cast it.
Sweet.
Hey, Brick.
Yeah.
So at some point during that 6 months, I do go in and I pay my share of. I'll pay in 500 gold to the building effort.
Okay.
And I'll hand over that stone.
Okay.
For them to do with it as they will.
Detect magic.
It is magical.
I need Eldove, though, to identify it.
He said he was going in.
Eldove's there.
Yeah, I'm there.
Alright. I knocked off the pearl.
What's it worth?
Eldove, you see a... what's it worth? You don't care what it does? Alright, it's worth...
What it does is what it's worth.
You see a vision of a barbarian leading an army of men. And you see him trekking through the jungle with his army behind him. And what his foe is, you're not sure. But you see he's covered in wounds. This is a man who's seen a lot of battle, very frequently. Some of them are still bound and stitched up, bandaged. And he's holding this silk bag in front of him, and he upends the bag, so the stone rolls into his hand. And he holds it to his face, and he says something to it. And then he opens his palm, and the stone leaps from his hand up above his head and starts circling his head like a halo. And as it does, you see the wounds covering his body begin to stitch themselves together.
Oh man, did we find an iron stone?
Yes, this is an ion stone of regeneration.
Those are awesome.
And it is priceless.
So we're going to rename this
you don't have the first
Radius option?
You don't have the first clue of how much if you could find a buyer for this, you don't have the first clue of how much you could get for it.
We're not selling an iron stone.
Oh,
but
that is
you
fucking...
did say it's worth whatever it can do.
Yeah, exactly. It's priceless.
So, Aaron.
Yeah.
I have 2 ideas of how Zook would spend his 6 months.
Okay.
And he would bring these to the captain. Let's say I would be discussing this with you as we're walking back from the desert with our successful haul.
Sure.
I could do one of 2 things. I could go back to the guild and make my services there and basically tell him I want to, do what I can with the guild, pull in some money, and try to bring money in for the land that way. The other idea is I go with you guys out to the plot of land and I use my super stealthy, invisible, exploring abilities to scout around and see if there's anything in the area, not to mention, just pick off orcs and stuff as I see them. Which would Tarin rather Zook do? Either way is perfectly amicable to him.
Honestly, Tarin thinks it would be nice to get a good feel for the area, the wilderness, because he's not any good at wilderness.
Okay.
He's planning to spend most of his time there.
Okay.
But at the same time, if you're more interested in being in the city, by all means. Like he thinks either option is good, but having more information, you're very naturally inclined to be in the forest anyway. So
yeah, I think after, from a character standpoint, after Zook's experience with Ben and everything, he's kind of getting more in touch with his nature anyhow. So if we're okay for money for now, which it sounds like we probably are for the immediate future, Zook is going to join the party and do what I just said. So if,
okay.
And that could just be character, or if Brick wants to roll any percentile of finding stuff, that's cool too.
Zook assigns himself head ranger, is that what I'm hearing?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. The first couple of months, the orc attacks are constant. Constantly testing out your defenses, and they are repelled every time. And they slow over time. Now that they see there's a powerful presence in this area, they turn their attention to pastures greener.
How many dice can I roll to find out how many orcs I burn with a fireball?
Roll all the dice. Just roll them all.
Oh, and can we just, for the sake of simplicity, assume that we have stockpiled arrows aplenty in this place for Zook?
I mean, you don't have to stockpile them. You can make them. I mean,
Right.
You have all the time in the world to make arrows.
Right. So Zook, anytime he has free time, is carving arrows, and so just coming back to this as base, and he has arrows.
Okay. So what is the... It's going to cost 900 silver in upkeep on the farms for 6 months.
I think Eldove's covering that, right?
I told you a number.
Oh,
Write
geez.
down.
What is this?
I was.
What is the slush fund at the end of 6 months? That's what I want to establish next.
All right. Well, I was making. Let me see here. I think it was 182 a month.
Yes.
That's just going straight. So let's add.
Yeah, 182 straight.
So you guys do all that math. I got to run to the fridge, and
What was everyone else bringing in?
I will be right
Khalil
back.
brought in 600 for the 6 months.
Zook already brought in his amount. He's not bringing in monthly now.
Well, I have another idea for something, so we'll see when Brick comes back if he'll let me go along with this.
I'll be right back.
But there's been something I've been wanting to set up for a while now, and it makes more sense to do it during downtime.
Well, didn't you say you had to be sitting at the thing for the teleports?
Right,
circle
I'm doing
for a
this
year?
via letters.
Okay.
Actually, Tarin is spending the entire time mostly there, aside from his occasional ethereal teleport jaunts, and basically acting as a communication hub.
Okay, great. Then I have some people I want you to visit in Kiska.
Yes, that's the one thing I need, though, is when I am traveling places, I'm meeting people so I can have more contacts for Dream and Sending. That's what I
have
wanted
a very interesting person I want you to meet in Kiska, and possibly in the south.
Who is that, Nodal?
I want Tarin to set up a trade route. Well, I want to set up a trade route, but I want Tarin to be my go-between between us and the mer people of Aqueous.
I assume Arik is on priest overdrive, just healing all the people hurt.
I assume you're very interested in me setting up some kind of trade route with the mer people of Aqueous.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
That's like right in your fucking wheelhouse, right?
Yeah, that sounds cool. I'm down with that.
Yeah,
people.
By the way-
Khalil would probably be leading the detour around this way to this protected area, so that way, so that way, it starts getting put on the map, if you know what I'm saying.
By the way, does anyone have any issue with me taking the Ironstone? Because I frequently don't want to spend a short rest resting.
I'm trying to look up what it does, and I haven't found it
It
yet.
gives back 15 HP every hour. So
How's that work in combat?
It
Doesn't
doesn't.
it?
you just get it at the end of an hour rest. Basically, I'm gonna say, okay, I get 15 HP.
Yeah, it kind of amplifies your hit
Okay.
dice expenditure.
So
Keeps your hit dice down.
Yeah, so since I'm frequently not going to be resting during short rests because I'm going to be casting a ritual or something like that.
Yeah,
I figure
no,
it makes sense for me
that
to grab
sounds
it.
totally fair.
So that's your third attuned item. Are you attuning to that?
It's my second attuned item.
You've got the magical Shield Guardian Pendant and the Pearl of Power.
Oh, right, the Shield Guardian Pendant. Yeah, third magic item. Yeah,
So that's
attuning.
third.
How cursed is it?
You don't know whether it's cursed or not.
Your teeny tiny dick is even teeny tinier.
I did roll for it. We'll find out. So at the end of the 6 months, what's the number?
1892. Oh wait, 1692. Sorry, this monitor's kind of bad.
6092?
1692.
1692. That's after building the walls, the farm.
Well, that's the money. That's just the income. We've put. Okay, so we spent the 8,000, and then we brought in from the adventure another 7,500 back, which I've put down, but we haven't actually said what that is on.
Okay. So I mean,
So total-
what's the
we've spent-
total in your fund, your building fund right now at 6 months?
We've spent 1650 with 16. Do you guys want me to put all the 1692 in the building fund? You don't need any cash on hand. Okay.
Did you write down the 182 this time?
Yeah.
I have another question, Brick, and we talked about this while you were gone.
Uh-oh.
I would like Tarin to go to Kiska and assist me in setting up attempting to set up anyway, a trade route with the people of Aqueous using the go-between of the head of the guild of divers.
How How intense is setting up your teleportation circle? Because you'd have to divert time away from doing that.
It's not intense at all. It's a ritual cast every day, so 10 minutes every day.
Okay.
I basically just have to be there.
But do you have... So can he teleport you back and forth with plane shift? Is that's the idea?
No, I can only take myself, because the way to get... The first step is getting into the ethereal plane, and the cloak only takes one.
I figure I'm just going to give him a letter and instructions, and...
Okay.
Tarin does, for what it's worth, have 20 charisma, too, so...
Yeah, like, he's very persuasive.
We'll call this something that's going to happen in the second 6 months, then.
Okay.
Okay.
For Tarin's part, he is spending his time studying the translation and acting as a communication hub and go-between, and basically being the person generally in the making sure there's always at least one person in the keep at all times, though he teleports around a lot. But that's
there had
he's the only
better
person I see.
be more than one person in the keep at all times.
Yeah,
If there's not,
I'm saying
these goblin raids are going to get very
yeah, no,
vicious.
I'm saying he's going to be almost always there, but that's because he can be anywhere else in the world very quickly.
Okay.
And
It
I
takes
don't
me
think
1 minute to cast it.
I don't think in the first 6 months Zook would travel further than where he could get back in the day.
Okay. No. So did we lose Nich, or did he just disconnect from
Yeah,
tabletop?
we lost Nick, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got
Arik.
crappy wireless.
I assume
Yeah.
Arik is in like hyper priest overdrive.
So you're trying to establish a church here.
That too, yeah.
I mean, is that his plan?
That is his plan. Right now, the church is like this weird makeshift altar.
That's fine.
To keep.
Where did you all establish the tower? Because you've got wooded area, you've got plains, you've got a river that runs through some... small hilly area. Like, where are we establishing this tower?
Do we have a good hill near?
Yeah, I would
near
say
the plains.
Sure.
on the river, closest to the river, the highest hill we can find near the river, because that's obviously going to be where the trade will want to be able to use the river.
And I mean, word gets out that Brother Arik has established a church to Osprim, very far inland, which is a little strange.
It's completely strange.
And I mean, you don't have a flock. I mean, there's nobody in this area. I mean, even if you had commoners, they wouldn't be giving reverence to Osprim. They don't get the bounty
There's
of
a
the sea from
river.
here.
It's fine.
But
It
that
makes sense.
You're establishing a
One
church
second.
along the river?
I'm sorry, but can somebody aim me the mobile password so I can tell Nick?
God, I don't even know what it is.
It's at the bottom of the. It's at the.
Yeah, the information
Yeah, it's
is
actually on
down
the
there.
Twitch page.
Nodal has
Oh,
never
right here?
scrolled down
Yeah, we're
below the video.
Yeah, we are using the multiplayer chat, so anybody could totally just drop in here and be like,
Don't tell them that.
Yeah, don't
Well,
tell
yeah.
them
Why
that.
are you bringing this up? Like what?
I would just mute
that's
them, I don't
a-
care.
I will ban you all.
So,
That's a long-term plan, Brick.
Okay.
Because right now all we've got is a
yeah, but I'm giving you your 6 month update. This is what you've accomplished in 6 months. You've got a small wooden church. I mean, you don't have a flock yet. You don't have any followers yet here.
He would be using his water powers to help with the irrigation and stuff like that. Hopefully,
He could.
Yeah, I could do that. I will do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
healing nicks
Yeah.
and cuts from orc attacks.
I mean, your first generation of farmers, I mean, they all have their own gods that they worship. Some of them come out of respect. Some of them come because you're the only priests in town. I mean, a lot of people come to you for guidance and advice and that kind of thing. And in your meditations, welcome back. in your prayers to Osprim, you feel that she's very pleased. You're doing good work. Like,
Yay.
you set out this adventure trying to do this in Kiska, which proved to be impossible. And now you've scaled down a little bit, a little more reasonable, but still very challenging. And you sense that Osprim is pleased with your dedication to the work, and that you don't aim for the low-hanging fruit, like you're going for the gold kind of thing. So, but you are in this small. It's not a village yet, even, but the few people that are working the farmland, the couple families you have working here, they respect you. They look up to you for guidance and advice and whatnot.
Where did we get
that's
our
gonna-
farmers?
I mean, they came when you guys established the farm. These would have been families who were looking to resettle somewhere.
These three
I'm-
Indian farmers.
I'm trying to catch up. My internet was down for like the last 10 minutes.
That's fine.
Did your microphone go through the washer or something?
I'm actually on my phone right now because the internet is not up.
Oh wow.
Okay. Wait, I just started giving everybody their 6 month update. Now it was Eric's.
Okay.
Khalil.
Jeez,
We
like,
haven't.
What are they,
we
what are
haven't
they gonna
rated
do?
Udok yet.
Yeah.
Wait, Arik, do you have a question?
No, I'm just thinking like, what are they gonna do if I have to go leave an adventure with the rest of my people? I gotta think about that.
You need to have an acolyte.
Depends. Do you have an
Sounds like
understudy?
me.
Are you training up an acolyte? It would be really
I should
easy to
probably
find someone.
start.
It would be really easy to
I
find
should
someone in
probably start,
Garriton
yeah.
or Caer Tyrell, who is a follower of Osprey, who shares your vigor for.
You know what?
Religion.
Let's go to Garriton
Okay.
because I know those people there.
And you very easily. I mean, what was his name? Basil was the curate of the Grand Church in Garriton, and he very there are acolytes there that are very eager to work with you, given what you've done for Garriton. So yeah, you can have someone in your training. And over the course of 6 months, we'll say this acolyte becomes a level 1 cleric who can tend to
Yay.
people's needs and whatnot if you have to leave.
All right, cool.
Khalil,
That makes
Yo.
me happy. BRB.
you have a very, very empowering encounter on the road one day. Coming up from Caer Tyrell, going through a very treacherous, marshland, which is always dangerous. This is swamp creatures and bullywugs and whatnot in this area.
Yeah.
And this particular day, the cart gets mired, and you all are stuck for about 2 days
Ah, fuck.
in pouring rain. It is impossible to move. And in the middle of the night, a huge band of orcs, several of which you faced in combat before and chased off, have banded together under a war chief, and they've allied with an ogre. And they're coming at you at their caravan. And the fight is brutal. And at the end of it, you're facing off with this ogre. You hold your shield high above your head, and it's struck by lightning. Knocks you flat on your ass. And you are in shock, and the pain of it, like the whole world is swimming, and you black out.
Oh, shit.
But when you come to a day later, the clouds have cleared in the sky. The sun is shining. And the merchant who hired you on is still alive, and he has all of his goods. And the men that he hired on, the mercenaries under your command, are still there as well. And they tell you that after the lightning strike, you pulled yourself back up and leapt into combat with this ogre, and after a flurry of blows from what they know is your magic sword, you cut this ogre down, and the rest of the orcs broke and ran. And you make a name for yourself, Khalil Thunderstruck.
Fuck yes.
And your name is becoming known along this road. And this word also reaches back to the nameless plot of land that Khalil is making a name for himself. And so what happens is over...
Wait, do we hear about his name?
Yes, of course.
Oh, that's rad. Eldove thinks to himself, damn,
I just
that's
added
rad.
that to my character sheet.
Did he?
Yep, it's on there now.
Because he had a family name, Navarra, at one point. But
Yeah.
what happens, though, is this story travels outward, and men begin arriving at the farm, at the tower. Not many, maybe 4 or 5, seeking to join your company, not knowing that you don't really have a company.
Yeah.
But they hear the story, and they see that you are a skilled fighter, and they come to ask to join your company.
All right.
And
We have
these-
money to build them a barracks.
we're going to say
Probably.
5 guys, not even first level fighters, but we'll say this will be the first men of your garrison,
Okay.
provided you are going to train them.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you'll have to split time between that and mercenary work the next 6 months. Nick, are you still with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't see the board. I don't have tabletop open, but I'm still here.
Give yourself proficiency in navigator's tools.
Okay.
Over the course of the 6 months, I mean, you've already done work aboard the ship, but you've always had direction. But now that you're kind of in charge, Ryler and Balin, you sense that they both were resentful of the appointment at first, and they have not been forthcoming with teaching you the things that you need to learn. So you've kind of redoubled your efforts to learn them on your own. And at the end of the time, you've earned the respect of every man on this ship, including Balin and Ryler, and you have learned everything you need to know about navigating this ship.
Awesome.
So now you can fire Ryler, finally. You can get rid of him. So go ahead and give yourself that proficiency.
Okay, in Navigator's Tools.
Yes.
Okay.
Bear with me 1 second so I can do Zook next.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me wash my hands while you do that. Hold on.
Yeah, other McDohl is posting the Suikoden recruitment sound effect in chat whenever we get people. So I get to play that 5 times then.
I was eating really sticky, cheesy popcorn.
Oh my god.
Ooh,
See,
lovely.
the thing is, these guys don't get a star though until their first level.
That's true.
So,
Okay. Anywho, yes.
so you got to train them up.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to give you proficiency in survival, but I see you already have it.
Yeah, I took that back when I had some character building. You could give me points and whatever thing would let me have more survival.
There is no such thing. But let me look something else up for you, because I want to make sure you get something for all your hard work. I don't want you to feel left out, you know?
Yeah, I took that feat that gave me extra talents in a bunch of different categories.
Yeah. Bear with me just 1 second.
Mhm.
I have an idea.
All right, since he's doing that and since it's awesome, I just want to point out that one of the things I can cast on my shield golem is the ability to turn into a giant fiery man. So there have been 2 people on the walls flinging fire at these douchebags.
Can your stone golem also be told to go plow a field?
I don't know how to plow a field, so I couldn't instill that spell on him.
Also,
Don't
again,
be crazy.
its
Eldove would
hands
never
are
be caught
literally
doing that.
carvings of fists. It's pretty one-dimensional.
Can it punch the ground?
It can punch out fire.
That's cool.
Zook.
Yes.
After every one of your expeditions, you bring the animals you've hunted back. So people have meat and furs and whatnot. And the merchants that pass by, the merchants that Khalil is hiring to protect, some of them begin taking an interest in the furs you've been accumulating. And over the course of the 6 months, you make a 410 gold profit in selling those furs.
Okay.
So you can add that
That is-
410. Well, I mean, it's your money. You can do whatever you want with it. Or you could add it to the building fund.
Tarin, take it for the building fund. That's fine. Duke is happy to help. Did you get that?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't hear. So cool. I'm a fur trader now.
You're
He's
a
having all
furry.
kinds of character. Yeah, I'm a furry now. Can we say I'm wrapping myself in animal hides too while I'm doing all this?
Rub dung on your face if you want. It's your life.
Yeah.
All right.
D&D, man, there's no limits to how much fur you can put on yourself, except for your imagination and certain rules.
Eldove. After 3 months, your sister returns to Dunfoss. And you only hear of this, I mean, when you and Humberth trade sendings one day. Like, she doesn't try to get any word to you. But your sister comes home, no worse for wear, takes up residence in the manor.
I'm going to send her a lovely letter.
Okay.
And I'm going
Imagine
to...
you'd have Khalil deliver it as he's traveling up that way.
Yeah, and I'll tell her what's been going on. Tell her I don't expect that there would be much for her to do here at the moment, but she's welcome if she ever wishes to visit and ask what she's been up to.
The response of the letter is that she's overjoyed to hear of your business dealings and that everything's going well. She absolutely has no desire to live in a shithole in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But if there's anything that you need that she can provide, which is a polite way of saying she doesn't want to do anything. As for what she's been up to, she
besides
doesn't
what
answer.
she already does, right? Because
She's
she does.
She's an aristocrat. I mean, she hosts tea parties, she writes letters, she pays calls, you tell me, what does she do beyond that?
Well, I was going to put her in charge of dealing with the wine shipments every month, since they're coming through there.
I'm going to say she doesn't have the skill for that. She doesn't have an eye for business. That's something that that's something you could oversee with very little overhead.
Does she have the connections to make our wine business any more profitable?
She
though?
doesn't have any connections, really.
God bless. Have a tea party about wine.
You want me to start hosting Tupperware parties? Is that what this is going to?
Have her host wine parties.
But I mean, over the course of the 6 months, I mean, the wine trade is. I mean, it's not the most profitable endeavor in the world, but the people in Garreton are happy that their wine is getting noticed, and you've got some connoisseurs in Dunfoss that are happy to be drinking wine that isn't on the open market. And
I mean, I'm not super interested in that.
Zook at some point would send word to the guild to say, by the way, we're setting up a little trading post down here. Our safety is a priority, but if there's anything that needs to come through here, I could make sure that it's handled correctly.
There is nothing out there. The Guild of Shadows has no interest in what you're doing.
Fair enough.
Let's put it this way: there's no profit in it to them until you come to them and explain why it's profitable. If you build something for them and that's worth them having an interest in, then you've got their notice. But
okay,
telling them, "Hey, we're growing grapes," they're not interested in your grapes.
Hey,
alright, so here's the thing: Eldove is fine with a bit of thieving on the side, but if those fuckers show up in his town.
Okay, Nick, you had a question. Then we're gonna go to Destil.
Oh, I was gonna ask before I lost everything. Would it be possible, since Fred is on board the ship, for me to learn what instrument does he play?
Fred plays a lute.
I would like to learn that from him.
Yeah, and then that's easily enough, and you can go ahead and add lute to your proficiencies then.
Oh yeah, we were doing. Me and Khalil were doing something with.
Oh
that
yeah,
too.
you guys can. Have
yeah.
that. You can.
Dice playing, yeah.
I was teaching you dice, and you were going to teach me cards. So
Yeah.
So Tarin, the first 6 months, your update. Reading the book. It describes in detail the ritual that Gendred is trying to accomplish. Do we even have Destil? Is he on mute? Am I talking?
Destil, are you alive?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. It's a prophecy. The dark god Naruk, the god that Gendred serves, was long ago sealed away by some pantheon of gods he was trying to overreach. He wielded too much power, and they sealed him away in the depths of Tartarus. But at the time, the high priest of this god spoke a prophecy that at the cost of the souls of 12 people, the last of their kingdoms, gathered together in one place, would open a conduit through which Naruk could be reborn. And this prophecy, at the time, nobody was worried about it. It seemed impossible. This thing could never come to pass. You could never find the last living person from a kingdom, let alone 12 at the same time, to gather their souls together to perform this ritual. Gendred is one of very few followers this god still has. And he thinks he's found a loophole. He thinks by taking someone away from their home plane to a different place and then killing them there, it would fulfill the terms of the prophecy. So his plan was to use his world-hopping ship to gather 12 prisoners, capture their souls together, and then perform the ritual. And of course, this plan was foiled partway through. Now, a lot of what the book says, there's correspondence, not correspondence, not like letters going back and forth, but words of the current high priest of Naruk, whose location is unknown to you. And he provided Gendred with vast quantities of magic, extremely powerful items with which to see this task done. He describes the compass and the 2 emeralds, which you know are now lost. Well, one of them's lost.
I have
the
one
others.
of them, yeah.
And that's the ritual that's described in this book. I mean, the whole book is... a lot of it is just other types of rituals to the dark god, prayers that he observes, very grisly things. So he's up to no good, but you foiled the first half of his ritual.
Did coffee table book?
He had only collected about half of the souls he needed. Fred's ended up not counting because he hasn't taken Fred away from this place yet.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's still got Warwanax, old dude, Traeger, and Adric, at the very least.
But that's what the translation tells you.
Okay.
Is that if he can manage to cobble together 12 souls. The prophecy states being the last living remnants of a kingdom, but he thinks he's found this loophole. And that's what's at stake.
Our crazy-ass dreams seem to confirm that, because we got a key with a door with Adric and everyone on it.
Well, the dream that you and Orphan got were sent to you. Only Tarin has received dreams otherwise, because Tarin was receiving them from his patron.
Right.
But yeah, the dream with the where he said you lost them and I sought them out. Tarin, Zook, and Orphan all had that dream, but that was specifically sent to you via spell.
No, I was talking about Tarin's dream about the door, because he told us about that, right?
Oh,
He told us hey, don't die because crazy death door.
Yes, actually, pretty much those words.
Crazy death door.
It's pretty accurate.
So that's the
Like
first
a heavy
6
metal
months.
album.
So plans for
Alright.
the next 6 months. Khalil, you're going to spend some time training up this garrison.
Yes.
If you want all 5 of these,
doing the whole.
if you want all 5 of these soldiers to fight as level 1 fighters, it's going to take you 4 months to train them. That's 2 months that you're not on the road.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's fine. That should be fine.
Okay. Orphan, are you going to continue splitting your time between privateering and exploration?
After 6 months of exploration, Orphan has kind of seen what she can see on the coast, or at least she feels like it. So what she's going to do is, she's heard about this one pirate that they tried to go up against and failed.
Yes. Well, no, they got him. The one that turned Ka.
Yeah.
No, it was a hard-fought fight, but they won in the end. But it was a very bloody fight.
I gotcha.
No, they managed to bring him to justice.
Okay.
They took his ship as pride, scuttled it, sailed it off, or sold it off.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, there are many notorious pirates, though. Arik knows of at least one.
Yeah, I'm gonna decide that we're gonna start going for bigger game. So we're gonna rather than go after a bunch of smaller pirates in the privateering mission.
Okay.
We're gonna marshal our resources and go after 1 or 2 of the more notorious ones.
Okay. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, and Nodal, you wanted to try to set up trade with the mer people?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of goods were you hoping they would have? I mean, we're talking a lot of ornamental stuff. I mean, it's 2 totally different worlds.
Yeah, exactly. Like anything that they have, which is unlike, I'm assuming they're freaking mer people, so they've got some shit that's unlike what you could find in a normal town.
Okay, and how are you
Like,
pursuing
sure,
this?
it's ornament.
How are you pursuing this and keeping up your teleportation circle ritual?
I'm pursuing this through sending Tarin to work out the details
Okay.
with the head of the Guild of Divers in Kiska,
Okay.
who I figure she can put in like a good word for me with the mer people since I returned that trident to her.
Okay. But you're sending Tarin as your emissary because you can't go yourself.
Right.
Tarin, how are you? Oh, yeah, you're teleporting. You're fine.
Yeah. The one thing is, before I leave, I've spent money on 2 scrolls of sending,
Okay.
and I've given 1 to Zook and 1 to Arik's acolyte with the instruction that if anything they ever need me, cast it, and I'll be there in about 30 seconds ish.
As long as it's 25 words or less.
Oh. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, screaming incoherently only counts as 1 word. And what does Eldove offer in exchange for these goods?
I have a question.
Yeah.
First of all, is there a teleportation circle in Kiska?
Not that you're aware of.
Also, Eldove, if you want to talk to her, I have met her because she was on my ship. I could just cast Dream on you.
Yeah, I mean, like, if she's... ask her first, if that's how she wants to do future business.
Okay. So you want me to go there and ask her in person, not sending?
Yes.
So here's my. Oh, no, go ahead.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to offer them is a share of the profits. Unless they have something that they want from the where I would try to supply them with
Surface?
that. Yeah, if they want something from the surface, a group of people who they can trust to bring it to them, I can be that. Otherwise, I offer them a share of the profits.
You're gonna have to, because what was her name? I don't have her name. I don't have my spread. I had a whole spreadsheet for Kiska. I just don't have it in front of me.
Her name is unimportant.
Okay, so in your first meeting, you tell this woman that you want to do business with that her name is unimportant, and she decides she doesn't want to do business with you.
Ah,
Damn it! But the bottom line is you're not going to be able to do this trade in coin.
mm-hmm.
Like, they have no use for coin. I have no idea what you could offer them. I mean, they're not going to... They don't have any use for silks or wine or food stuff or...
Do they have any problems with pirates?
What few problems with pirates they have, which is not many, is handled through the Divers Guild in Kiska. Her political
Swagons.
clout there takes care of that. And I mean, because this whole area of the ocean, like south of this line, is not very commonly traveled. That a lot of that is just open, empty, wild water, and that's where a lot of these underwater kingdoms would be.
Mm-hmm.
So let me do a little bit of research here, and I will get back to you on that. I mean, you spend the time pursuing it. I think it's great, but this might be more of a... You might have to measure the success of this in, like, personal achievement rather than just coin.
Is she alright with doing the dream thing after I make the introductions?
She doesn't... I mean, she's very skeptical that this elf friend of yours has anything at all... I mean, she... Oh, no, wait. She knows Eldove.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I personally returned.
That's right.
The magical frickin' trident of her people.
That's
to
right. You
she-
gave
we're
her
good
back
friends.
the powerful trident that Arik would have loved to have if he had been there that session, but he didn't exist
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, we're good friends.
Okay. And
I just don't know her name.
in that case, I mean, she sadly responds that, like, she would, if there's any business that they could conduct, she would be happy to facilitate it, but she just doesn't see what they could possibly offer.
We'll think
So-
of something.
Okay, I'll teleport back the next day then, and I'll just cast Dream on Eldove whenever he wants to talk to her.
Alright, so I
But-
guess I won't spend the 6 months doing that because...
Well, that's
That's
what I was going to
foolish.
ask. I mean, getting that as a response, how much time are you going to put into it? I'm not saying it won't pan out. I'm just saying it's not going to be the cash cow. Like, you're going to have to put some real work into it.
I mean, probably not gonna spend much time. I'm probably just gonna spend time trying to think of something that we can offer them, but I'm not gonna, like, sit around every day and do it. But, like,
Well,
at
what
some
avenue
point,
of research do you look into? Like, how do you go about trying to find something that they want?
um,
I'll tell you what.
I'll think about it. Just give me a couple minutes.
Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. Go to Google, and if you can, like, do your research into mer people, like the mythological figures, using whatever resources you think might be pertinent. Because I haven't done any world building as far as what the underwater kingdoms of this world are like. And if you come back with a good story, we'll work from there.
Alright, so you're saying I go watch The Little Mermaid, find out that they
Right.
want princes,
Right.
and...
And trinkets. Princes and trinkets.
Better yet, if you
Yeah.
could just come back and sing the song, you know?
What if I sing a song from the wrong thing? Like, what if I come back and I start singing, I will show you the world?
Then I'll give you a carpet of flying, but that's all you're getting.
Okay.
What if we offer them like a fork? How about this fork? Would you want a fork?
Other than that, is
They've already
everybody
got
else...
tridents, so they know what forks are.
Let's,
So, yeah, unless Zook finds something, like, really awesomely interesting in the woods that he would want to go explore further, he would mostly just be doing his scouting, hunting, you know, seeing if he finds goblin camps to break up, that sort of thing.
How does he go about breaking up these goblin camps? Like, what is his course of action? Zook finds a goblin camp. There's 20 goblins there. They don't know he's there. What does he do?
He scouts it. If I think I would scout it, and if I think it's a danger to our camp, I would let our people know, and maybe me and Eldove could go firebomb it.
So you go back and get Eldove, and then Eldove goes out and firebombs in the middle of the woods,
or use it as a training aid.
Yeah, I mean,
dudes.
I would let the camp know. Yeah, sure. Yeah, if I thought Khalil and his dudes would want to go fight it, like,
our cleric.
Yeah. Basically, I would bring it back, and if they seem like they're too far out, I would just keep an eye on them and chart their movements, that sort of thing.
Okay.
But I'm not going to attack a bunch of them at once by myself.
It sounds like we want to level up our NPCs. It sounds like that's what we want.
They're not going to level up. They're going to be level 1 unless they actually go adventuring with you. They're going to be level 1 forever. Okay, so Zook is going to stay the course.
Yeah. And I'm letting you tell me if I find anything interesting. But otherwise, I'm perfectly fine just doing what I'm doing for the camp.
Okay. Tarin, you're also staying the course? You're just going to... you're going to spend time facilitating this wacky mermaid business venture.
Yeah, that's pretty much been Tarin's deal the whole downtime, is he's largely staying here, studying, taking notes in the book, and then doing a ton of communication spells. But there's actually one thing I think you'd like to do at this point.
Sure.
I think I'm going to just fire up the teleportation, maybe, once a week, and spend a weekend in a major city, and using my position of power, my noble, ability to present myself, I'll try and meet as many important people as I can, so if I ever need to send sendings or dreams to anyone, I'm basically just trying to get, not even connections, just get awareness and meetings with a bunch of important people.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I mean, that's going to eat up a lot of time.
Yeah, that's how I'm spending my weekends, like I said.
You're going to be attending parties and having nightcaps
I only need to talk to you once to say cast sending, buddy. I don't need to...
That's true, but, I mean, if you want the sending to bear any fruit, you have to have a rapport with these people.
Right.
And
otherwise, you're just invading their dreams.
Okay, so that's fine.
I'll have a corpse of a blue warbling, because I see it's on the party loot.
It's probably already turned to dust.
No, because Arik has been casting General Repose on it.
The whole time we were in the mountains?
You guys made an arrangement for that. I forget exactly what it was, but it was discussed.
Yeah, we did.
So no, I mean,
can we sell that thing?
Oh, you'd hire somebody. You hired somebody in Garreton to do it for you because that's where the ship was. Yeah. So what we're gonna say, is that that Wormling corpse is in the same condition you left it in because Balin made arrangements for that to continue before he sailed off.
That's preposterous.
We should get it stuffed and put it in the middle of the inn that we're going to build in this town we're building.
Oh my god, that's
Eldove.
the name of our inn. It's the Blue Wormling.
Eldove.
That's a good name.
I like it.
Right.
Eldove, Wisdom 10.
Alright.
I mean, unless it's more valuable to do it some other way.
What do you mean?
Sell it or something?
I think that's great.
That's a great idea.
I fail.
Yeah, you think this Blue Wormling Ink thing's a great idea.
Tarin was going to be a little bit more dramatic and name it like the Thunderbite or something like that. Something more, less direct. Was his
a little less
idea.
on the nose.
Yeah.
And
less
I mean,
literal.
word up and down the road and in Dunfoss and in Caer Tyrell is that the hero of this place is Khalil Thunderstruck.
Oh, I like it. We got marketing, you guys.
Khalil
I'm glad you
Thunderstruck.
failed that whiz 10.
Yep.
I don't want to know what this thing's worth.
Yeah, no, I think
that's
like,
fine.
and then we can make like a drink called the Thunderbite, right?
Right, yeah, so, but the rest of it, like except for the head, because we're just going to mount the head, right?
No, we're gonna make it look like it's attacking someone, like a bear.
Now, you know this is a
What?
wormling. It's like the size of a large dog.
Yeah, exactly. It'll
Okay.
be hanging from the ceiling, attacking someone.
All right.
Okay, yeah, okay.
No, you love this idea. This is fucking, you think it's great.
No, I do love this idea.
Okay, wait. So no, the reason I was thinking you call it you have a drink called the Thunderbite.
Yes,
and you have
exactly.
Thunderstruck, but the name of the inn itself, I think, is the Blue Wormling. That's a very British pub, kind of identified by the sign.
Oh, no,
name.
the Blue Wormling is absolutely the name of this inn. That's perfect.
Okay. So, and you have a taxidermist come out, somebody who can work with the hide of this creature. And yeah, I mean the work takes a long time. Let's see, how much should I charge you for that?
Oh boy.
Does he? What innards can we make use of?
Can Cube do it?
Can Cube do it?
Cube's
No,
on the
Cube
boat.
doesn't have the skill, and he's not there anyway.
Man, if I only took tax.
I'm gonna call it 500 gold. It's gonna cost you more than that to hire somebody to come out and do this work, and I mean it's extravagant artistry. It's gonna cost you a lot more, but I'm gonna say that the various pieces of the inside of this dragon that you don't need, like its heart and its blood and whatever,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
are worth
can
magical
offset that
components.
cost?
Yeah, it offsets it a little bit. It's still going to cost you 500 gold to get the work done. That's after
Well,
you.
they don't have to come to us. We can bring them this corpse.
Well, and if you do, it's still going to cost 500 gold. That's the number that I just pulled out of
All
my
right,
hat.
so
So,
they have to come to us.
So let's say that 500 gold worth of our current what we're putting into the place is the corpse, and hopefully building a small inn.
Well, I already quoted you the price for the small inn.
Which was how much again?
I gotta get the
10,000?
DMG back out. 100,000 I think I quoted for a keep.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was like the end goal, I think.
yeah.
I mean, no, you guys aren't building a keep right now. It's going to be a while.
No.
We'll get there.
Oh, you know what? I whipped up house rules for the price of establishing this thing. It's turned out one page later, it's building a stronghold. There's actually rules for it. Yeah, to get a keep or small castle is going to cost 50,000 to establish and take a little over a year to build. So that's still out of your price range. But for something that you're looking to build the size of like an inn at the crossroads, I think I said 10,000, yes?
Yeah,
Sounds
you
right.
did.
I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, 10,000 is probably still about right.
All right, so we've spent 18. So does that cover the tower, the inn, and some farms?
We hadn't built the inn yet. We had just built the farms, walls, and a tower.
Right. I mean, that's yeah, and that was, but we only spent like 6, 7, 8,000 at first. So at this point, we're up to 18.
Okay. I mean, is that what you guys are going to do? Is start construction on the inn at the side? 'Cause you're going to have that's going to increase your daily upkeep as well.
Well, if we start getting some travelers, hopefully it'll pay for itself.
Okay.
And how
Arik,
much how much are we making back on the farming?
nothing yet. You hasn't been a full growing season yet. Arik, he's just staying the course, keeping up with your churchly duties, going out with Zook.
Yeah, and assisting Tarin and Eldove with things I might know about the Aquan people.
As far as Aquan people, like we're talking humans.
Well, what we can do to establish trade? Like, oh no, you know what they love? They love X.
Water.
Yeah, they love water.
Non-soluble fluids.
Make
But
an
I
Arcana
imagine I
check
I was
and then a
gonna say, like,
religion check. Make both at disadvantage.
Religion. Religion.
Both
Who
at
needs
disadvantage.
religion?
And Khalil, you're spending 2 months.
Kind of nonsense is religion.
You're spending 2 months plying the merc trade in the second half of the year.
Actually, no. I actually had some. Other things that I was scribbling down on my notepad here.
Okay.
First, just a random question that I'm sure that was on everybody's mind. Fila, the captain's concubine. What happened with her?
She's still on the ship.
Good question.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I have a thought as well.
8 on Arcana and 17 on religion.
17
My
on
Google
religion.
research has
Okay.
found something.
Well, let's
Okay.
put a cork in that for right now, because I'm still going to deal with Khalil first. He's the last one on my list here.
Alright.
So training soldiers those first 4 months, and during that time, Khalil would have probably established, during the training and stuff, Khalil's kind of, there would be a few days that Zook would wake up and hear freaking Khalil shouting like Arlie Ermy stuff at these these guys.
Uh-huh.
But other than that, he's actually kind of starting to buy into the whole Thunderstruck thing. So he's actually thinking about starting a merc company.
Okay.
Since it's kind of he's already kind of started that as it is, but the other thing he would want to do is he would want to return to Kiska and resign from the Wall Walkers.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a pretty big.
We're gonna do that. I'm gonna go real quick. My dog is barking. Looks like Peanut just got home, so we're gonna take a quick break here.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
We come back. We'll finish resolving Khalil at Keith, like his resignation. We will go back to Eldove and see what fruits his research has borne, and then I'll give everybody their second 6-month update, and then we'll get back to the adventuring.
Just a longish break at dinner. Make a sandwich break.
Yeah, go ahead and make a sandwich. Actually, I'll put Elizabeth on screen, mostly for my own benefit, so I know when I go to chop this
to cut this out
out later.
Cut this out.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll
so
be right back.